Captain Rhoades tried to warn us. In the movie Day of the Dead, Captain Rhoades butts heads with this guy, the zombie nutter. So, what's up with this Captain Rhoades guy? Why did he butt heads with this guy? Well, he's trapped underground. He cannot go outside. He can go outside, but he has to walk on eggshells and not trigger any zombies. But when he goes back into this indoor bunker where he's supposed to be safe, where his job as a military man and his fellow enlisted men are supposed to keep this guy safe, guess what this guy's doing? He's bringing more zombies in, compromising the safety of everybody. And guess what this guy right here, guess what? He's going to domesticate the zombies. Okay? He has this idea that if you reward the zombies for good behavior, that you can control the zombies somehow and domesticate them. But what does he reward zombies with? Well, let's have a look.
Now it's time for your reward.
I taught you something. Good.
He rewards the zombie with parts of the dead soldiers. Captain Rhoades' fellow enlisted military men. So do you think that's going to be a problem for Captain Rhoades? I think so. In this movie, they make Captain Rhoades seem like he's the bad guy, like he's unhinged. But if you really step back and look what's going on, he has every reason to be unhinged, and they should have been helping him out. This is so much like dog culture. This guy right here, he is endangering everyone's life by bringing more zombies into their safe zone. And then, what does he do? He gives the zombies human meat. That's what we're doing in our current dog culture. Putting little kids up in apartments with pit bulls. Parents that do that, you're just rewarding dogs. You're constantly thinking about, well, if we just reward them, they won't look at us as lunch. So here's Captain Rhoades when he learns about what's going on.
Those are my men in there!
My men in there. That's right. Those are your women and children, FedEx workers, DoorDash workers that are being thrown into the jaws of dogs because you keep bringing more dogs into society. This is what the zombie doctor does. He tries to humanize the zombies. Same thing we do in dog culture. Giving them precious little names and things like that to suppress their need to eat us for lunch.
He remembers everything that he used to.
Oh, I'm very pleased. Very pleased.
What's he trying to prove? I saw one of those things sitting in a car in D.C. trying to drive down Independence Avenue. It didn't make me want to be its friend.
It's amazing. It's not what this one does, but what he doesn't do.
What do you mean?
He doesn't get excited and doesn't get agitated when Logan walks in the room. He doesn't see Logan as...
Lunch.
Yeah, lunch. How many little toddlers get seen as lunch by dogs? Way too many. So this whole movie is this doctor trying to condition zombies to not want to eat people. And the Captain Rhoades, he thinks that's a bunch of BS. And so Rhoades already tried to warn us. Have you ever talked to a dog owner about the dangers of pit bulls or something like that and heard, you need to get educated or you're ignorant? Well, this movie has that too.
Ignorance is exceeded only by your charm, Captain. How are we going to set an example for them if we behave barbarically ourselves?
So he's telling this guy that they need to set an example for the zombies. They need to get learned. They need to get educated and quit being ignorant about these zombies. That they got a human inside of them, and you need to fix the zombie by starting to lead by example. It's the same thing that dog owners do. Oh, you need to get educated. You need to look up this. You need to meet some more pit bulls. So this guy that was portrayed as the bad guy, this guy is actually the good guy in this movie. So another thing that I want to share with everybody about this zombie movie. Okay, so the guys that are in the army, they're taxpayer funded. The scientists, they're taxpayer funded, and they're bringing zombies into their life. So this is what dog culture does. If you are a 501c3 organization, you can write off your dog expenses and taxpayers will help you pay for it. If you foster a dog that is one of these organizations, the taxpayers will fund it. So isn't that what's going on in that movie? Those guys that are in the army, they are serving taxpayer funded scientists that want to bring more and more dogs in. And what are they saying that those dogs or I'm sorry, zombies, what are they saying that those zombies are for? They're saying that it's charitable for the zombies. They're saying that they're doing all of these things with zombies, but they're not. They're not doing that at all. So if you are a dog fosterer, this is what you get to qualify for: charitable. You are relieving the poor, relieving the distressed, relieving underprivileged people. You're advancing religion or education or science. Now, see, in the movie, they're trying to say they're advancing science by allowing those zombies to kill the soldiers. But that is not the type of science that is going to help humans. Erecting or maintaining public buildings, monuments, works, lessening the burdens of government. No, you're creating more burdens for government because they have to have more security, more police responding to dog bites. Lessening neighborhood tensions. No, tensions are always up when there's more dogs in the neighborhood. More barking, more fights between dogs, fights between everybody else. Eliminating prejudice and discrimination. No, not at all. Just like in the movie, everyone was prejudiced against each other. We don't want zombies. Well, we want zombies. It created a huge fight. Same thing with the dog culture. We want a bunch of dogs. The people that say, well, we're tired of barking. Now you have people that are prejudiced and discriminating each other. Defending human and civil rights by secured law, combating community deterioration. No. Dogs in our society do not serve any of these things. In fact, they create many of these things. But they get away with it. They get away with it because they use this thing about animals, cruelty to animals. That's how they get by with this. And it's the same thing in this zombie movie. They try to act like, oh, don't be cruel to those zombies. We have to lead by example. But dog culture is the same thing. Dog culture is like a zombie apocalypse movie, just a little bit, just turned down a little bit, that it's allowed to slip by us. And we can pretend like it's charitable. We can pretend that dog culture is educational, when really it's not. It's just a degradation, a backwards evolution of society. In the zombie movie, there's a scene where Captain Rhoades has to run away from the zombies. He's forced to abandon his buddies, and yeah, that's pretty crappy. But that's what everyone else in the movie was doing. The scientific people, they were happy to allow his friends to be killed by zombies. And this also happens in the dog culture. People see dog attacks all the time, but they don't do anything about it, or they can't. They just allow a child to be mauled. They allow grandma to be bitten so bad that she has to be amputated. Well, like in this movie, Rhoades didn't want to get killed by zombies, so he ran away. He left his fellow guys to fend for themselves. We do the same thing in dog culture. We don't want to be called dog haters. We don't want to get injured ourselves, so we don't step in and do anything about dog fights. We just film them on our phones or capture them on our Ring camera. So that's just another example from the movie how zombie apocalypse scenarios, they're just like dog culture. And Captain Rhoades tried to warn us.